tell us where we are here in Bartica. What is this area called?
Agatash.
This is Agatash.
Yeah.
And we're talking about these young men who lost their lives recently after this boat collision.
Okay.
And tell us who these young men are to you.
Cranston Davidson is my foster son. I bring him up since he was 3 months till he was 4 years. And the other one, Troy Joseph, was my son-in-law.
And Troy was 32 years old, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
And they were, from the reports that I have, on the day in question, they had, or the day before rather, they had gone to collect their salaries. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Yeah, they went the day before, which was Thursday. And when they reached the manager who they're working with, they said that they wouldn't be paying on that day, Thursday, until the next day, which is Friday, the following Friday. Hoping that they would pay Friday morning. They then later on get to understand they had to wait till afternoon around 5:36 to collect the money because they didn't working. And there was, I think they keep communicating with their wife, which is my daughter and my daughter-in-law, and they were in the line to collect the money already night.
So this was the 4th of July, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. And then they collected the money late. They had some people who they owed, so they decided to walk and come out to Itabali and pay the people that they owe. It normally happens that they take things from people and they pay every month in. So them come down to get the boat and then they meet up with the captain, find out if he will come in. He say yes, he coming to Bartica, but you have to wait for a passenger who is coming from Puruni. And that's how they end up waiting until when Sharpman, which is Hudson, ready.
Yeah, and I've learned, you can confirm this, they went to receive payment from a company called Earth Resources Management Quarry. It's located at Batavia Island.
I don't really know the quarry name, but it is in Batavia.
Good. And tell us now, the day in question, they're coming back to Bartica here. What have you learned transpired?
Well, not until my daughter, the Friday night, Friday morning, I should say, around 3 o'clock or minutes to 3, she come rapping at my door and saying that her sister-in-law, which is her brother wife, said that she just get a call from her cousin saying that they had a boat accident at Itabali. Right away, we tried to do some calls and find out. We even call a car right away to pick you up to visit the hospital because we get to understand that the survivors them is in the hospital.
So the family knew at that point that these young men were involved in the accident, or you were just wondering?
We just wondering. We just want to go over the hospital to find out, well, if they had any information or any patient by the name of Cranston Davidson or Troy Joseph. So we went to the hospital.
And what did you learn there?
When we reached the nurse and we asked the nurse, well, okay, we get to understand that there was an accident, and the nurse said yes, of course, they got some people upstairs. They asked the name and we mentioned the name, and she said she don't know, but the 2 captains upstairs. She would allow 1 person to go upstairs. I did go upstairs. And approaching Sharpman, which is Hudson, he was trying to turn in a kind of way like easy. So avoid from turning because I know he must be in pain. So I tried to come in front of him fast, and I didn't get to ask him nothing. All we do is just raise the head, and he said, he's called me Sharpman. So he said, Sharpman, your family was in a boat and they're gone too. That was the reply he gave me. I didn't mention anything to him. I just touched him on the shoulder and he walked straight down back of the hospital. And I couldn't even tell my wife and showing him anything because like there was a lump in my throat, couldn't even talk.
Did he tell you how the boat got into this collision?
No. Well,
or have you learned that since?
No, I didn't. So far, I went to visit the next morning. We went on a search and I asked if they could tell me which part the boat that went in the accident, Sharpman boat or any one of the boat, that they could take me to the boat so I could see it. Okay, I went and I see the boat and the bow was off and the front bench and the second bench was missing. I then, to myself, said that I must see back Sharpman in the hospital to ask, well, which bench these 2 boys were sitting in, so they can just get the average, like how they get hit or whatever.
So that is telling you said the bow is off and some of the seats in front are missing. That tells you it was a hard impact there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and I did went back to the car. We come through the road. We leave the rest of the guys to come round back with the boat, and we come through with my son's vehicle from Itabali to Bartica. We reached the hospital around 7 o'clock, and I went to Shartman, and we had a discussion concerning the boat and how they been sitting or whatever. Not much and not long. He was speaking to the next person and just asked the question, who is the next captain? And he said, that is the next captain sitting on the bed. And I just turned and looked at him. I didn't ask him nothing. Because from information that I gather from other people around, not one, not two, many said that the other captain, which is well known as Redman, I don't know his name, said that he was under the influence of alcohol. So I didn't have no discussion
So
with
the
him.
captain on the other boat,
Yeah, the 200.
he is being alleged to have been drunk.
Yeah. Of course.
And this is the guy who would have lost his life to, the other captain? No.
No.
Okay.
No. This is Shartman, the one who lost his son.
Oh, I see.
They been in, my family was in his boat, Shartman boat,
I
the
see.
75 boat.
So you learned that these young men are missing.
Yeah.
On that evening, you went back to the scene to try to get a sense what really transpired.
Yeah.
What has happened since that time? This was the 5th of July. Today is the 16th.
Yeah. We, the family, we gather some family, we get a boat, collect gasoline or whatever we need to, and we went to the scene where part of this thing occurred and just hoping like we would see one of them would float or anything, and he was unsuccessful. So we coming back. And then later on in the afternoon, we get to understand when the other crew, because we had a day shift and night shift on the river, with no help.
Search party.
Yeah, sort part, with no help from the police, just the family.
How recent was that?
That was the fourth day, the Saturday, Friday, it happened, the Saturday, the next day. The following Saturday.
So this is around the 7th.
Yeah.
The accident happened around the
this-
5th, on the 5th.
And the 6th, because the 5th was Friday.
Good.
And the 6th, yeah. So we went to the 6th, and then, and preparing to go, we get a message that, a call that they find somebody on the river. I have called a person who was one of my wife's relative, and I called him just to confirm that if it's true, and he said yes. I said Inco, which was a call in Cranston call name. The boy knew him very well, so I asked him if was Inco. He said no, it's not Inco. It looked like the boat captain's son. And we get the car, we went to the hospital, and he was there in the compound, and we identified the body was Hudson's son.
And this person is Oswald Hudson, I think, was the person who lost his life.
Yeah.
When was his body discovered? Was it the same day?
The Saturday afternoon, the next day.
The next day.
Saturday afternoon, yeah.
And so you all formed this search party. Your family basically formed this search party, went out looking for these boys, your family members who you will have lost so tragically in this accident. What has happened since that time? Because you said initially the police didn't offer any help.
No, we just doing family search. The family went out again this Saturday night. The Saturday we went, our next crew went out Saturday night. We went back Sunday, we went back Sunday night, we went back Monday, we went back Monday night. Out from within the 5th to the 10th, only 2 nights was missing out from the search. All the rest was day and night.
Is there any point in your heart that you're hoping that these young men might still be alive? It might be a rescue more than just recovery?
Yes, I got to believe, because there's no way like the feelings is like, you know, sometimes you get feelings. There's no way like I was at one time searching and just hoping not to see them. I don't know if it ever happened. Like you're looking for something and yet you don't want to find it. You just keep looking still. But the feelings then really, they're like, you would see somebody. But what I think that the police should have get these 2 captains after they get discharged from the hospital to like carry them and show them the spot where part this accident happened, and they were able for, I wasn't there, they were there. And if they could just remember, like, just to show them and make a search and get the average, well, they as captain, they got more river experience more than me, personally. And that was my point, that it really sad to know that something like this happened, and, you know, the police really take it serious to me. Because I carry 2 losses. I explained to Shartman, I said, in the hospital, I said, You must. I feel. I know how you feel. You last one, I last two, but it doesn't mean because I last more than you, I feel more than you. I know you feel the same way. But at the end of this, I only hope the best come out of it. This all it done, and it come out of the hospital.
So again, this accident happened on the 5th.
Yeah.
Recently learned that the police and MARAD, this is the Maritime Authority,
Okay.
has joined the search. And was somewhere around, I think yesterday, which was the 15th.
Yeah.
The 5th to the 15th is 10 days.
Exactly.
The police and the Maritime Authority, the Maritime Administration Department, took to join this search party. What is the family thinking at this point?
We were really disappointed at that point to see, because I was listening news last night when Edward Prasad, saying, well known as Red Hot, he's saying in the news that the police are continuing their search. And I called him on the phone. I said, I really don't understand the part. If you could please explain the part to me, continuing. Where they start? They started this morning. You could please explain? And he said, I must go by the station and find out more about that. And I raised my voice and he cut off the phone. I couldn't really understand that part, because I can't see a part the police start when you're just started. It means that if you continue, it means that you've been searching before. So I never see it. I speak to the commander and I asked him one day, I can't remember the exact day, when I asked the commander, well, sir, what will become of this, that seeing that this happened, we carry 2 losses, what would be the outcome? He said, right now, sir, there's a lion on the water top with some police. I said, sir, there's no lion on the water top, there's no police. I'm at home, but I'm keeping contact with my son and all the relatives who is out. He said, sir, I'm telling you. I said, okay, and I cut off the phone and I called my son, who is out on the river top. I said, I want to send a video to me. Let me see who is on the water top, if there is any police, and my son did. He showed me that there was 3 boat, family member, and one gone to collect food, and there is only 2 boats now. He said, look on the water top, there is no police boat. And I sent the video to the commander. I don't know if he get it, but I never get no response.
Has the police outside of that been in touch with the family? Have they been keeping you up to date?
Never. Not one day up to now. Never.
What happens now for the family?
There are so many questions left hanging in the air without any answer. Don't know who yet to turn to get some answer.
And what are you expecting of the authorities now that they have started this search yesterday? This is the police again and the Maritime Administration Department, MARAD.
I expect them to do their job, which in terms then for the motherfuckers that hold these two captains as men, because they are the one who causes the accident. I don't know who is right from who is wrong. They can't have 2 right and they can't have 2 wrong. One has to be wrong. So my point is that I'm expecting that the police do the job and we get some kind of justice. I'm hoping, just hoping that happens. I don't know.
Thank you so much for sharing this story with us.
Okay. Thanks very much for coming.